Welcome back to Living with a Classic. I hope you can hear me over the torrential downpour. We're down here in the storage unit I like to call the gallery, and it's a miserable time of year now. It rains every single day. I think since Christmas we've had rain every single day. So usually it's very nice and dry here, but everything has a limit. So when it's been raining this much, it gets a little humid down here. I always run a dehumidifier and it's working overload right now. You can always see some wetness here on the floor just because it's been like windy and raining, so it's going through the door and everything. But what I like to do during the winter is there's some cars that I don't drive during winter because of road salt and also because of grit. We have more grit up here and not salt, and I don't want stone chips. However, it's not good for a car to sit for a long time, so I at least fire them up and let them warm up. Yes, they won't get fully warmed up, the oil and everything, but I do run them long enough, half an hour or so that they really do get up to temperature. And it helps with the fuel system, keeps fresh fuel in them. I keep filling them with fresh fuel during the winter, injection cleaners, fuel stabilizers, things like that. So today, it's time for two of them to fire up. I chose two V12's. We're going to do my 1977 XJ12 and the 1991 XJS convertible. It's time for those two to run for a bit, warm up, and get any moisture out of the engines, basically. So it's my old favorite here, my 1977 XJ12. Took the battery out of it to do something else. It's been charging up here, so we'll mount that. And this thing should fire into life, hopefully. Let it warm up and all of that. And over here, under cover, we have the XJS. It's a little tight to get to, but it should be enough to be able to open the door and fire it up. So I think, let's go with the XJS first, try and fire that one up. It's a little dark here, but I just want to check the oil, basically. There's no big puddles under it, so it definitely hasn't lost any coolant or anything like that. We are between the full mark and a little bit lower down, so that's good. This thing is getting a bit of work before spring, or during spring when I take it up to the workshop. Driving home from the big car meet last summer, we developed an oil leak back there. It seems to be the oil pressure sender unit or somewhere around there, so we'll address that and then give it a full service and all that, so it should be ready for the summer. Let's go back, connect up the battery, and then we'll see if it fires into life. The battery is connected up now, and I disabled the alarm. And I don't think I've shown you guys, I bought a spare engine. Let me I got the keys in my mouth. Trying to get a flashlight and everything at the same time for you guys. I bought a spare. This is a pre-HE V12. Good friend of mine, Steve at English Car Care, had it for sale with carbs and everything. So I thought, you know what? You never know when I need one of these. So I picked it up. I don't want to store it here, but it's too wet to drive on the grass where I want to get it up with a tractor. So we'll do that in the spring. But sitting down here for now. But the lights are a little bit dim, but the battery wasn't charged that long ago, so I'm hoping everything should be fine. Now we should be able to fire it up. It's going to be a little tight, and I'm not sure how well you guys are going to be able to see it. All right, so that's going. Get the immobilizer off, and let's see. Yes. Got oil pressure. Got everything up and running. And back here, we have a lovely V12. Let me just get the instrument lights on so we can see oil pressure and all of that. Oil pressure is great and it's charging. We have some bulb issue, I think. The low coolant warning light is on, so I actually want to check that out. We're going to turn it off and check that. And I remember that now. That was the other thing on the list. It has a slight leak when cold. It's... Where did my phone go? I want to shine a light for you guys. It's... There we go. It's only does it when it's cold. So it's that seal right down there on the external water rail. On the other side, I have a couple new ones. So that is also something to do now in the spring. I'm just going to double check that we actually have some coolant. Could also be, they're known to be faulty, those gauges. Oh yeah, there's coolant down there. I have a couple customer cars where that gauge, if the car's been sitting for a while, it will show empty. The warning light will come on and then it will just go off after a while. Yeah, we have coolant down there as well. So not a problem. Let's fire it up again and then we can fire up the other one and they can sit here and warm up together. Slight change of plan. I decided that we're going to fire this one up first just because the XGS is so loud that if there was like a weird engine noise or something, I probably wouldn't hear it. So we'll fire this one up and then we'll go fire up the XGS again because we know that there's not really any issue with it. And now we're going to have 24 cylinders running. And perfect, up at the max. And let me just try and squeeze in here. And we'll fire it up. And I'll give you guys some lights. Hope you can see something. Give it a couple prime. And here we go. Nothing. That's very strange. Almost as if something is disconnected. Let's go and have a look at that. I did a quick test off camera and it has spark. I can smell fuel. So really strange. This car has never not started for me. And it was about a month and a half ago I ran it last and it was no issues at all. So that's very, very strange. I do smell a bit of fuel, so it does smell very fuely. So the injectors are opening. I can hear them click. I'm not seeing any leaks or anything like that. So I'm going to give it one more shot. Just go inside, put my foot to the floor if it's flooded. Try and sort of get out of that. Otherwise, that's a mystery. And then we can at least warm up the XJS. But that's weird. This thing has never done anything like this. Very, very strange. Okay, I'm gonna let it sit. I think it is for some reason a little flooded. I don't know if maybe an injector is stuck open. But we'll do what we came to do here. We will run the XJS and let that thing warm up. XJS is running again, so that's good. My guess is, I mean, this is definitely the wettest winter I've ever experienced here. I've never had it so that it's actually like moisture in here. We haven't had a single sunny day forever, so usually I open up these doors whenever it's sunny and, you know, get any moisture out here, and the dehumidifier usually doesn't catch anything. But now I'm getting a lot every single day. So this whole engine bay is so moist. So I'm wondering if I have moisture inside the distributor cap and it's just throwing sparks like crazy. I just checked that we have spark, but not at the right time. And it definitely smells the fuel. So I think the injectors are working, all of that, just not this. But hey, 1 V12 out of 2 ain't bad. I'm gonna let the XJS warm up for a bit. We have 60 pounds of oil pressure, and that warning went away just now. So probably just a bad connection right down there with the coolant warning. But everything, it seems to be working fine. I'm gonna let it warm up, and then we'll give it a little bit rev, no, not rev it, but just raise the idle a little bit to let it, fully warm up a little bit faster. So we're running for about 15 minutes now, so everything is really nice and toasty. You can let it continue running. I like to keep some of the lights on just to put a little bit load of the alternator, so that also does something, and also to put some heat in the instrument cluster from the lights. But while this thing was warming up, I pulled a plug from the other V12, and well, I have to say this car's running great, but it does not smell fuely. So that seems to be the issue. I smell a little bit of fuel, but it's not overly fuel, so it doesn't seem flooded, but it's something else going wrong. And it's too cold and wet down here to really do anything about it today. That would be a future thing, seeing why this thing doesn't start. It's the first time it's ever failed me. This my favorite old V12. I let the XJS run a little bit longer. It ran for about half an hour, so it's nice and toasty. I also cycled through the air conditioning and all that, so everything moved around. The only thing that would have been better, of course, is to drive it, but see how it is outside. That's no way that's gonna happen. And it feels like it's never gonna stop to rain. It's absolutely the wettest winter I've ever experienced living here. I mean, I've never had it so that standing inside in a good building with a dehumidifier running, I mean, there's rain droplets on the engine of the XJ12. That's just really, really odd. Before I get a bunch of comments saying about reliability of the Jag V12, this is the first time in close to 10 years of owning that thing it has failed to start on me. So I'd say it's not bad. It's probably my fault for letting it sit down there, but I can't do anything about it. I'm doing all I can to get the humidity out of there. It's just crazy, crazy wet right now. I was at a neighbor's place, and their house is actually lower down than ours. I'm just walking up to their house, my boots filled with mud, and I sank down. So it's extremely, extremely wet at the moment. Usually at this time of year, it's cold and we have snow at the moment. Usually nice clear skies, and usually not this. But I'm gonna go inside, warm up a bit, edit this up, and I'll show you guys something to watch. And then I'm gonna go out and continue on the welding here on the X-Type. It's going pretty well. You guys should see a video of that pretty soon. It's my first big welding project, and I'm quite proud of it. Anyways, if you liked what you saw and you want to see more V12 action, if you want to see me get the XJ12 actually started again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Anyways, until next time, I'm Adam. This was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.